But I wanted to get to a bigger point. Because the time comes, somewhat pun intended, for us to take the gloves off when it comes to Jake Paul.
Loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet.
It's other fights. It's not fair. It's the embarrassment on boxing. He shouldn't be doing this. It's so embarrassing. He's fighting old men.
Stephen A. Smith blasts Jake Paul, accusing him of rigging the fight game by repeatedly targeting much older opponents. Outraged, he says it's time to stop sugarcoating the truth. Smith highlights Paul's pattern, including the upcoming fight with 58-year-old Mike Tyson, calling it both dangerous and unethical. He claims Paul is exploiting aging legends with massive payouts, not for competition, but purely for profit, turning boxing into a spectacle over a sport.
These are the kind of things that I'm talking about here. Boxing's a skill. Let me give y'all an example. Remember Francis Ngannou? Remember that monster? That Nigerian nightmare? Remember him? And then we saw him show up and show a little skill against Tyson Fury, who came there out of shape. What happened when he got into the ring with Anthony Joshua? He got put to sleep, much in the same way Nate Robinson got put to sleep. Boxing is a skill. Jake Paul is a professional. He trains. At some point in time, I don't give a damn if it's a light heavyweight. Better be Bivol, a super middleweight, Canelo, Mexican monster, David Benavidez, somebody that actually has a reputation.
A wave of confusion swept through fans during the 7th round of Jake Paul's fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., when some viewers noticed online platforms prematurely listing Jake as the winner. This unexpected early outcome triggered serious questions about the fight's legitimacy. How could a result be posted before the final bell? The incident intensified growing suspicions of rigging in Jake Paul's boxing career. For many skeptics, it wasn't just a technical glitch. It felt like confirmation of behind-the-scenes manipulation, reinforcing claims that Jake's fights may be more scripted than real.
As you are watching this video, Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez are currently right now in the 7th round of their fight. But when you go to Google and Google the fight, it gives an accurate breakdown of all their past fights. And then it comes to the current fight, and it says that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet. Yet they're saying that this is the end results as they are fighting right now, currently as it stands. This leans testament to the fact that people state that Jake Paul has his fights fixed. What's your thoughts on this? This is nasty work. Unbelievable. This is Google. Google it yourself. Peace.
Many fans struggled to reconcile Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s passive performance with the reputation he once held. Throughout most of the fight, he appeared unusually static and lacked the aggression expected from a seasoned boxer. His minimal offense raised suspicions, especially in the final 2 rounds when he threw a few punches that seemed more like a gesture to save face than a real attempt to win. Frustrated viewers dubbed Jake Fake Paul, implying he wasn't facing real resistance and that the bout felt more like a performance than a true sporting contest.
40 in 6 months. And he's been off the El Chapitos. He's been off the El Mayo Zambada up his nose. So he's probably more like 48 adjusted. A 48-year-old man. Okay? There's numerous angles here, right? Was he paid not to throw punches? That's possible. Is he just 48 in La Coca years? That's also possible. What we know for a fact is, Fake Paul's useless, honestly. He's proper useless. Chavez like this, standing there. No pace. The last few rounds he had a little bit of pace. Even then, Fake Paul just clings on though. Fake Paul's, I've been saying this, Fake Paul's got no inside at all. He's got no stand and let's have a look. Let's work here. He's coming at me. He clings on for dear life. he kind of pushes his punches out, slap, slap, slap. No, all this talk of power. These dudes. Chavez actually, he looked a bit smaller than Fake Paul. Fake Paul's not a cruiserweight. He's a light heavyweight, honestly. He's so soft. He's got like these big rubber dinghy arms. Big rubber, soft. Not. Chavez looked more like an athlete. But that'll be on. Well, is Jake Paul going to fight anyone? They're already walking back the Zerdo situation. Oh, Zerdo doesn't sell. Well, we knew Zerdo didn't sell.
Many fans continue to question the legitimacy of Jake Paul's fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., with skepticism flooding social media. Viewers pointed out Chavez Jr.'s lackluster performance, calling it highly uncharacteristic for a former champion. One user summed up the sentiment, tweeting, "Jake Paul fight clearly rigged. No way a real boxer sat there for 8 rounds barely throwing a punch, then suddenly looks fresh and starts boxing in the last 2. Nah, you can't tell me nothing." The tweet went viral, echoing widespread belief that Chavez Jr. was told to lose but make it look close at the end. The fight added fuel to growing concerns about the integrity of celebrity boxing. Mismatch bouts featuring stars like Jake Paul are becoming more common, prioritizing spectacle over competition. While these events generate massive viewership, true boxing fans argue that they undermine the sport's credibility. Many believe marketability is replacing merit, and hype now overshadows skill. When respected names like Chavez Jr. are involved, fans expect real competition, not what feels like a scripted show. Yet as controversy swirls, it only draws more attention, turning drama into the driving force behind this new wave of boxing entertainment.
Felt like boxing's pretty rigged overall.
Oh, yes, Rick, dude. I mean, so many politics, even with, MMA, man, there's so many politics. There's no more art anymore. It's just, let's get an influencer in there. I get it. It's like generating money because our attention span is so short. You look at clips now, it's like 7 seconds. I saw a dude slamming a lady the other day, and they were like, "Oh my God, that dude is..." I'm like, well, what the do? I'm just gonna pick somebody and slam them. Where's the whole video? And our attention span is just so small. So money talks, of course. Yeah, let's get an influencer in there who has no style, but it draws attention. It's just dumb.
An alternative theory gaining traction is that the fight wasn't rigged, but simply a money grab. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s shockingly low punch count, just 13 throughout the entire bout, has led some to believe he didn't train seriously and treated it as an easy payday. Critics argue it wasn't corruption, just apathy. Many say Julio Sr. should have stepped in to protect the family's legacy from what they see as a public embarrassment. Accepting the fight in that condition felt less like competition and more like selling out pride for a paycheck.
Results, a couple of shocking results. I think that Jake Paul undercards and the promotional arm of his brand, I think, is the most fun part of what Jake Paul brings to boxing. Honestly, I think long term, I think that's what we can all hope for. Jake's fights are, this one was borderline atrocious, and kind of the writing was on the wall. But I gotta admit, even I bought drank the Kool-Aid, and mainly I drank the Kool-Aid because Chavez Sr., who also is disgraceful for doing this, made me believe, and I think, this has been the problem with Chavez Jr. He's been enabled constantly by the media, the promoters, his family, and all this other stuff. So he never really shows up prepared. He never cares and just shows up to get paid and basically steals the bag every single time. And he did it tonight again. The reason I actually thought this fight had a chance was because Chavez Sr. Guaranteed us that his son was motivated and was having a training camp. So as much of a Hall of Fame career as a father had, he's the con artist, I guess, must run in the family because Junior has been a con artist his whole career, but at least he's been enabled through it, But now the father doing this, I mean, you knew already your son wasn't going to be ready. You put your own reputation on the line and sold us this crap. And then ultimately your son throws what most guys will throw in a round. He throws through 10 rounds. It was actually kind of really insane.
Jake Paul has fiercely denied rumors that his fights are rigged, particularly pushing back against growing skepticism surrounding his upcoming bout with Mike Tyson. He claims the accusations are baseless, driven by jealousy or fear of his rapid success. According to Paul, critics dismiss every major fight as fixed in an attempt to undermine his achievements. However, with a pattern of facing retired legends or inactive fighters, many fans remain unconvinced. The Tyson fight has drawn even more scrutiny due to Jake's controversial matchmaking history, leading some to question whether it's a genuine contest or just another carefully crafted spectacle.
After I beat Mike Tyson, the amount of people saying this is rigged was crazy. They showed this clip of Mike Tyson going to swing at me with a left hook, and he stopped doing it, but saw I had my right hand up. So he would have swung like this, I catch it, shoot. He's leaning forward I could have knocked him out. So that's why he stopped throwing it. And it's they play this one clip and it has literally 50 million views on TikTok, but the average person doesn't understand.
Boxing coach and former Olympian Tony Jeff weighed in on the controversy, noting that many fans are quick to cry foul simply because they don't want to acknowledge Jake Paul's victories. Jeff clarified that he wasn't necessarily praising Jake's skill, but challenging the tendency to label every win as rigged. He acknowledged that most of Jake's opponents have been older or less competitive, but argued that doesn't automatically mean the fights were fake. For Jeff, not every non-elite matchup
You might be raging and saying, "Oh, he's fixing the fights! It's not fair! It's an embarrassment on boxing! He shouldn't be doing this, it's so embarrassing, he's fighting old men!" Well, is it a fix? No, mate, it's not a fix. Is Julius Caesar Chavez past his best? Yes! Was Mike Tyson past his best? Absolutely, mate. Now, if you look at all of the great fighters, look at all of the records, you can go on BOMBSHELL and see this, you'll see that they are fighting either one of two people. Either a person who's a journeyman, who's coming in there just to lose and give the fighter their experience, or they'll be fighting someone who might have been a former champion who is now past. And finding these right opponents is key for the development of any fighter, not just someone like Jake Paul, but any fighter. Now, with Jake, because he's got so much attention on him, people are seeing this. Whereas normally fighters are not even live on TV until they've had X amount of fights. If you look at someone like Floyd Mayweather, look, we fought his 4th pro fight, or even his 10th pro fight. Some of these fights will not be on TV, and now Jake is on TV and he's fighting former world champions, which he's fought a few now. I think everyone should give him respect now as a fighter. Fighting someone like that and putting so much pressure on himself as well. Now, do I think that fight or the fights was rigged? Absolutely not. I think that Jake is very smart. He's picking the right fights, but at the same time, he's developed as a very good fighter now. There's no denying that he is a very good fighter now. Yes, he did lose that one fight to Tommy Fury by was it a split?
Despite the backlash, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. insists he's not done with boxing, calling his recent loss just a bump in the road. But fans remain doubtful. How can a fighter who threw so few punches still claim to be a serious competitor? His post-fight remarks did little to inspire confidence in his motivation or preparation. Critics argue his comments reflect a lack of accountability and believe his lackluster performance sends the wrong message to aspiring fighters who once looked up to him as a role model.
What was difficult to do in the fight tonight that you wanted to do but you couldn't?
Our confidence, first round, and come forward. But I think when I'm like back, it's not good for me. So if I'm fighting again, I'm doing this. So take the punches, come forward, and try to be more inside, because when I see him inside, his punches don't have the same power. So I think I do a big mistake in these things, like fight at distance.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask. I kept asking myself, why isn't he working on the inside, throwing body shots, hook, upper, you know?
Yes. So maybe in more fights, a little more confidence. I need it, more confidence.
Jake Paul's bout with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is just the latest in a string of fights critics have labeled as scripted. Over time, fans have noticed a familiar pattern: aging opponents, predictable outcomes, and heavy media promotion. Many believe Jake's fights are crafted more for entertainment value than genuine competition. The upcoming Tyson match has only fueled these suspicions, with some already dismissing it as a promotional stunt rather than a fair bout. While Jake has undeniably mastered the art of grabbing attention, it has also made him a lightning rod for questions about his credibility.
Important and quite serious news in the combat sports world. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You know, you have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust two professionals to get in the ring and do their best against each other. And instead you find out Mike Tyson pulling his punches, not trying to hurt Jake Paul. Absolute disgrace. I thought better of them.
Allegations surrounding the Mike Tyson fight include troubling claims that scripts dictated each fighter's actions, from controlled punches to staged moments. Some insiders have hinted that the bout may have been partially rehearsed, further fueling controversy. Reports even suggested Tyson could face financial penalties if he knocked out Jake Paul too early. If true, such clauses imply the fight was designed to protect Jake, ensuring he walked away unharmed, both physically and in terms of reputation, raising serious questions about its authenticity.
Y'all already know I'm mad about this fight. I really wasn't even going to talk about it because I already felt like it was a setup. But when Trick Daddy Dollars posted this on Instagram, it really just confirmed and solidified everything. So, Trick Daddy Dollars posted this on Instagram, and I'm going to read it to social media. So, it says the rules for the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight are designed to favor Jake Paul. These include: the rules are extremely favorable to Jake Paul. The contract will incentivize Mike Tyson to lose and give Jake Paul an opportunity to choose himself as a winner. The first stipulation in the contract will punish Tyson for knocking out Jake because he is paid on a sliding scale per round. If Tyson knocks Jake out in the first round, he would receive no money. If he knocks him out in the second round, he would only make a small amount of cash. For Tyson to make the most money, he needs to survive all 8 rounds, which means avoiding knocking Jake Paul out. If the fight goes to a split decision, it favors Jake Paul because the judges have to be approved by Jake Paul. I'm gonna let y'all read it.
Accusations of fight manipulation have become a recurring theme in Jake Paul's career. Many fans believe he pays opponents not just to show up, but to ensure they don't outshine him. These claims aren't baseless. They're fueled by repeated red flags like low punch counts, lack of knockdowns, and strange fight endings. Following his win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Jake's sudden rise into the top 15 cruiserweight rankings shocked many, especially given the lack of real resistance. To critics, it felt more like a publicity stunt than a legitimate boxing accomplishment.
Then you want us to respect Jake Paul as a fighter, but how you want me to respect this man as a boxer, and he basically pays his opponents to lose? The culture didn't want to see that. All the 80s babies and people born in earlier time did not want to see that fight. And I think if I knew these rules, which I believe these rules make a lot of sense to why Mike Tyson really didn't fuck him up. And it's like, why do you think people want to continue to watch a Jake Paul fight when every time it's going to always be in his favor because people are paid to lose? Respectfully, that's not real boxing. That's not real fighting. I'm sorry. And I know for Tyson, he's retired anyway. He's still the champ. This fight didn't mean anything, but it meant everything for Mike Tyson. And I'm just like, I'm disappointed. And I wasn't even going to come on social media. But like I said, once I saw Trick Daddy post that, I was like,
Observers have pointed out that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s body language and lack of effort during the fight felt unnatural. The mere 13 punches he did throw appeared soft, unfocused, and poorly timed, more like someone playing a role than genuinely competing. Odd moments, such as glove biting, only deepened suspicions. These instances gave the fight a staged feel, with some suggesting the sequences were pre-planned rather than authentic displays of athleticism. Whether coincidence or something more, such moments continue to blur the line between sport and spectacle in Jake Paul's boxing world. Still, not everyone believes the fight was scripted. Many argue that people simply don't want to accept Jake's success. His performance in the ring, they say, speaks for itself. Instead of acknowledging his hard work, critics look for excuses to discredit him. Supporters like Adam Smith see Jake Paul's rise as groundbreaking. From YouTube personality to headlining boxer, his journey is nothing short of remarkable. While controversy constantly surrounds him, Jake's ability to dominate headlines and command public attention is undeniable. Whether viewed as a legitimate fighter or a clever showman, Jake Paul's transformation into a boxing brand is a modern tale of influence, fame, and calculation.
I mean, if he does, it's going to be one of the great stories of this generation, isn't it? They start off as YouTubers, as influencers. I love working with Logan Paul and KSI when we did that fight together. It was the sort of start of it. My kids love what they've done, the whole Misfits thing. Look, yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, and that European title fight doesn't get any better. But Jake Paul has millions and millions of followers.
That's all for now. Stay tuned in.